Akolibed is a name that I'm sure everyone knows by now. He was always a great player, after all he's been one digit in Osu for more than 2 years, but in 2023 he absolutely popped off. Only a few months ago, number 1 Osu player Emrek was considered untouchable and no one even came close to him on the leaderboards. However, everything changed in just 1 week. October 2023 will be cemented in Osu history as the Akolibed month, and according to some, the start of a new era. Akolibed exploded, setting the game's first 1500 PP play on Valley of the Damned DT, matching it only 2 days later with another 1500 PP play on Azul Remix. As if that wasn't enough, he really made a statement with his hidden double time full combo on Sidetrack Day, awarding him a ridiculous 1700 PP. As all of that was taking place, with our jaws collectively dropping to the ground, my DMs got inundated with messages, because apparently this historical pop-off was the result of Akolibed's new keyboard. Hello everyone, hope you're doing well, and welcome to the 4th episode of Osu List Week. Today we're gonna be looking at the DrunkDeer A75, aka the Akolibed keyboard that's guaranteed to give you a new top play. Not really. This is a 75% magnetic switches rapid trigger gaming keyboard, and today I'm gonna unbox it, review it, and compare it to the OG Wooting 60. Let's get into it. And there it is, there's the box right there. Unleash your potential? I surely hope so. Inside the box we have a quick guide showing some of the shortcuts and functions on the keyboard itself, a long braided USB-C cable, though it's a bit thin, a keycap puller, and 2 extra switches. Under the extra layer of foam we have the keyboard itself with a protective plastic dust cover. As you can see, it's a 75% layout, meaning it's smaller than a full-size keyboard while preserving the function row and a couple extra keys. We also have a knob on the top right, which turns smoothly and clicks. In the back we have 4 rubber feet to keep the keyboard stiff, and 2 extra flip-up feet to further adjust height, though looking at the side you can see it's already nicely angled, so you may not even need it. Holding the keyboard in my hands it feels very light, and it's no surprise cause it's mostly made of cheap plastic. Oh snap! Yep, the build quality is definitely not the best. But to be fair, that's not the main selling point, and most people are not going to bend their keyboards anyway. The main selling point has to do with the magnetic Hall effect switches, where just like on the Wooting, you can set a custom actuation point and use rapid trigger. Unlike the Wooting lacquer switches made in collaboration with Gateron, the DrunkDeer features switches from a manufacturer named Reisha. Probably not how you pronounce it. The magnet is located on the side while it's at the bottom for the lacquers. Both are pre-looped, but the lacquer switches definitely feel more smooth and also look a bit more premium in my opinion. Though in the end, since they're both magnetic, they both have practically infinite lifespans. Plugging the keyboard in with their cable, and this is very important because using a third-party cable could lead to some issues, we have nice bright RGB coming through. There's different versions of this keyboard for both its case and keycaps. I personally chose the black case along with the shine through PBT keycaps, as I'm not a fan of ABS ones. Let's go for a typing test. I'd say the keyboard sounds pretty good. It doesn't have a unique feel or sound signature like the Wooting, and the stabilizers, especially in the spacebar, are not the best. But overall, it's not bad by any means. In fact, I'd say it's slightly above the average gaming keyboard. You can change some of the settings through its shortcuts as shown earlier, and while they do have their own software, they also developed a browser-only utility tool just like Wooting, where you can customize your settings without installing anything additional. You can change colors, presets and animations of the LEDs, but also your actuation point and rapid trigger. I'm gonna assume all of you Osu players watching this already know what rapid trigger is, but just in case you don't, I have a nice, short, concise explanation from my last review. Roll it! On a regular Switch you have a fixed actuation point and you need to press the key down and reach it for your input to register. On the DrunkDeer Switches you get to choose the actuation point from a minimum of 0.2mm to a maximum of 3.8. If you want to then repeat the key press, normally you need to go back to the actuation point again, but with Rapid Trigger enabled, the activation and deactivation points change dynamically, meaning you can repeat a key press mid-motion. In my opinion, Rapid Trigger is less of a magic tool and more of a safety net for finger locking and note locking. It definitely gives you the edge on speed, but doesn't provide any significant advantages on lower BPM. Now, I unfortunately haven't set a 1000 pp play yet, but I can tell you the keyboard feels quite good to play on. As I said earlier, it's not anything unique, it's not trying to reinvent the wheel, but for some, that may actually be a good thing. Before I get into that, let's compare the DrunkDeer A75 to the original Wooting 60. In terms of build quality and customization, the Wooting wins hands down. It looks and feels way more premium, the switches and stabilizers are a bit better, and it's a keyboard that's meant to appease both gamers and keyboard enthusiasts. Even though both are hot swappable, Wooting allows you to easily swap cases and keycaps. Differently than the Reisha ones, lacquer switches can be mounted backwards for no interference with cherry profile keycaps, meaning you can essentially make your Wooting 60 look like a custom keyboard without giving up any of its gaming features. On the other hand, DrunkDeer is a much more closed product, and it's meant to be used as is out of the box. You can buy a different case on their website, but it's a pain to disassemble and you'll most likely damage the cheap plastic. Other than the exterior, the Wooting is also much more customizable software-wise. For actuation, it's 0.1mm to 4 as opposed to 0.2 to 3.8, but more importantly it's got features like analog controls, dynamic keystrokes, mod tap and toggle key. Tachyon mode has an equivalent in the DrunkDeer Turbo mode, but overall my opinion hasn't changed. The Wooting remains the best gaming keyboard on the market and the undisputed gaming workhorse for those who want the best of the best. That said, many Osu players don't really swap their cases, change keycaps or use all the advanced features. All they want is a simple Rapid Trigger keyboard to play Osu with, and for that, the DrunkDeer has some advantages. First of all, price. While I believe the Wooting deserves every penny of its $175 price tag, the DrunkDeer is a bit more affordable at $130. On top of that, the A75 is an in-stock item that can be ordered and shipped relatively quickly, whereas at the time of me recording this video, the Wooting 60 is a pre-order that's expected to be available by the end of January. Another thing has to do with the layout. Personally, I don't mind 60 or 65% since I'm deep in the mechanical keyboard rabbit hole, but most people probably don't want to switch to such a minimal layout. There's a reason 75% or tankless are by far the most popular keyboard layouts and sweet spot for most gamers, and it's because you can step away from full size and save space without giving up the function row and other extra keys. Hello everyone, post-production Spaza here. As I was finishing editing this review, Wooting has announced that they're coming out with a brand new keyboard, and my god, it looks amazing. The Wooting ATHE, an 80% keyboard with a function row, arrow keys, but a slightly different layout, right between 75% and tankless. Does that mean this whole video is useless now? Well no, it's gonna take months before that keyboard is ready to be shipped. However, in about a month you'll be able to pre-order it, so just be aware that this is now also an option. Very nice. Back to the video. Another thing I like about DrunkDeer is their spring selection. They allow you to choose between 42 gram springs, so very light, 55 grams, sort of in between, and 69 grams, nice, which is nearly 10 grams heavier than the lacquer 60 switches. As you may know, I'm a big fan of black switches, so having an heavier option to play with is definitely appreciated. Keep in mind, you do have to swap the springs out yourself, which is a bit annoying, and for some reason the switch fits very tightly in the plate. It takes a very long time to put them back in, which is something I've never experienced on any other keyboard pretty much. In conclusion, Is the DrunkDeer A75 the new cheater keyboard? Will buying this keyboard allow you to achieve the new PP record? Of course not. Akolibed is an insane player, and his pop-off is merely the result of hard work, determination, and willingness to push the limits of Osu. Is DrunkDeer better than Wooting though? In my opinion, no. But for the price, it's a very good keyboard and I have no issues recommending it. I leave a link to both keyboards down there in the description. It's affiliate links, so if you buy either one, you are supporting me as a creator for no extra cost. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, it really helps. Leave a comment down below to let me know your thoughts, and if you want to see more videos just like this, feel free to subscribe. This concludes the 4th episode of the Osu list week, and with that, I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one, guys.